Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group, and let's jump right in. With today's poster, I want us to know how to remove the green color cast on this woman's dress. So you can see basically it's a reflection of all the sunlight bouncing off the green grass and bouncing back onto her dress, which I'm supposing is supposed to be more on the white side, less on the green side. There's lots of different ways to do this. I think an older school way to do is to change the actual hue of the whole picture, but just cut out the dress so only that changes. How do we do that? Let's start over here in the layers by making a copy of it. So I'm going to right click and hit duplicate layer. And now we got two layers. Let's go ahead and turn off the bottom layer and stay on the top layer. And basically what we want to do now is we want to erase the dress. And we want to use a nice soft brush eraser. So we choose the eraser. This size here is a little too big at 50 points. So let's try, I don't know, like 20 point. See, it's nice and small. It doesn't have to be perfect as I zoom in. You want to get it pretty darn close on just the dress. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm just basically tracing out the far edge of her dress. And that might even be a little too big. Let's go down to like a 15 point. And it's okay if I leave a little edge, as long as most of what we're getting here is taken out. And we're just going to trace the whole edge of the dress. Once we have the whole dress traced out, then we're going to take the polygon tool here and make sure that we choose the polygon lasso. And I can zoom in, and now we're going to get rid of the center portion of our trace. You could do it by hand using the eraser, but that's going to take a lot longer. This way is really easy. All you got to do is just trace the in-between from what we want to keep, which is the rest of her body, and we want to get rid of the middle portion of the dress that we didn't erase yet. Once we get to the end of tracing, we're going to double click and it'll start the marching ants. I can zoom out a little bit, and all you got to do is hit delete and boom, it's gone. Now what we want to do is get rid of all these other little portions down here. It's going to be a little bit harder, so we got to be a little more careful with this and choosy with this. If you use the magic tool, it's going to be really jaggedy, and it shouldn't be jaggedy. So I'm going to use like a 5-point soft eraser and just remove this by hand. It's a little time consuming, but well worth it in the end. Once you've got those all traced out, go ahead and take the time to polygon all the centers out. And now that we've gotten rid of the dress comes the fun part. All we got to do now is turn on the back layer again, and here we go, boom, and there it is. The dress is back in all of its glory, but wait a second, it still has a green tinge. Well, why is that? Well, that's because it is the back layer. So now that we have control of that back layer, let's go ahead and choose that back layer, go to Enhance, Color. Before we do the lighting, we're going to actually do the hue and saturation. Watch the dress now. I'm going to bring the saturation up, and watch this. We can change the color, the whole hue of the dress, from purple to green to blue, magenta, whatever you want. And in the same sense, we can actually take the hue out of the dress, making it more pure white. And there we go. I can also do the lightness if I want. Watch this. Change the dress completely darker, or you can go really bright white like that. It's completely up to you where you want to go with it. And there we go. You want to see the before and after? I'm going to toggle preview before, after, before, after. That's basically it for this tutorial. This is Rich, calling it quits, saying over and out.